This is Men's Relationship Wisdom, and the topic of this video is that years don't determine quality.
I agree.
So this is one of the things that pisses me off about relationships. So this is one of the things I really, really hate, that a lot of people value the relationships on the variable of years. So, like, there was this couple, we were in Sam's.
Yeah.
And this guy comes up, this old man, and he was like, oh, this and that and blah, blah, blah. I've been in my relationship for 60 years.
Yeah, it's our 60-year
relationship.
Anniversary. So, like...
Yeah. Like, he was really proud of it.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay, great,
years.
you know, whatever.
Him and his wife, yeah.
Right. Like, whatever. And then I see the wife, and the wife is yelling at him, and the wife is bitching at him, and all kinds of bullshit. And I'm like...
Yeah, she's nagging.
She treats him like shit, basically. Yeah. And we were at the food court. And so she's like, what do you want? You want this? You want that? Oh, you can't eat that. Blah, 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 this and that. Typical stuff, right?
Yeah. So she goes off
to get in line. So she goes off. He goes, I go, oh, you been? I go, congratulations, right? So, like, I'm in public acting like a good civilian, right? And I go, hey, you know, between you and me, I even toned it down. How many of those years, what percentage would you say was good? You know, like, maybe 10.
But he really had to kind of like think about it.
Yeah.
And he actually like came up with like, he's like, oh, maybe 10 years out of 60. And then
So what pisses me off is that a lot of people, when they're in a relationship, what they want to do is save face. They've been together for this long, but it really means up, but they've been putting up with each other's shit for that long. So it's like you have to be proud of them that they've been miserable the most of the time. So like when I really get the truth, more, I think, is when couples divorce.
Oh, yeah.
When the divorce, like if you ask him before, you're like, hey, how good is, oh, we've been together for so long, we love each other, blah, 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 blah. So that's what they say, that thing, because they're trying to save face. They're like saying, oh, I made a good decision.
Or they're just putting on like a show, like when you're out. Because a lot of times if they're still married and they go out in public, a lot of times they do. They pretend to really care about each other. But then you get the glimpse every once in a while of them behind closed doors. And you're like, God, they treat each other like crap. It's
because they're putting a front. It's like if you ask somebody, do you like the car that you chose? Oh, well, of course they did. That's why they chose it. Unless it was gifted to them or somebody else made the choice for them. Because everybody thinks they know what's the best for them every single time. So they're always going to be biased every single time. So I don't like it when a lot of people say, oh, their relationship, they base it on how many years together. And I see the woman treat them like shit.
Yeah.
Or the woman is complaining about him to her true friends.
Yeah. Well, like we were at a birthday party a couple years ago, and we know this woman very well, her and her husband, and they got divorced. And we asked her, we were like, so how long were the two of you married? And she goes, 25 years. And of those 25 years, how many were good? She's like, maybe just the first 5. Just the first 5. She's like, after that, everything was awful. It was difficult, downhill.
I noticed when I first started dating that the honeymoon phase was like 3 to 6 months. That's like the best, because you're dating the representative.
And it's so fun.
Like she's on her best behavior. She wants to do things. She stuff. The sex is better and all that stuff. After, when it starts getting more serious after 6 months, then you start really seeing the person. They don't shower as much. They don't do this. They don't do that.
They're not willing to do this. They're a little bit more impatient.
Yeah, they're like, whatever.
Their tolerance diminishes.
Yeah. So they don't do that much stuff as before. And then that's when you start seeing the true colors. And then after they get married, it's like good for a little while, and then it starts diminishing. That's what I see the big pattern with married couples.
Right.
So it's kind of like, I'm a big believer of relationship adaptiveness. So that's why, like what I recommend is to have an adaptive relationship framework. And that's what I really promote. That's what I believe in. That's what I do.
And I agree with that.
The thing is that you, like, if you really think about it, what are the probabilities of finding the right person for the rest of your life? This soulmate bullshit is just a fantasy. It's like the girl believes that Prince Charming's going to come and he's going to be wonderful, and the guy thinks that he's going to find a princess and it's going to be wonderful for the rest of his life. It does not. It's not. It's very improbable. People change. Things change constantly. So that's why you have to be adaptive. So the species that survive the most are the most adaptive. What a surprise. So why would it be different for relationships?
Right. No, I mean, it wouldn't.
The only time is if the two people adapt in a certain way and they grow together in the same thing. That's when it's
But
like great, and that's what people think. They think of the best, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna get that." And when we married, we're gonna be the exception. We're not the ones that are gonna get divorced. We're the ones that are gonna like each other and everything to be perfect. Yeah, bullshit.
mm-mm.
The probabilities are not for you. So a lot of people, what pisses me off is that, like, even if you ask them,
Mm-hmm.
it's like ask yourself this question: would you want one relationship, and this is being optimist, for 50 years and 50% of the time you're happy and 50% of the time you're miserable? So like if you break it down, even 25% you're miserable and 25 years they're very good.
Mm-hmm.
Like would you rather have that one, or would you rather have 10 relationships or maybe 20 relationships, 10 relationships where they're 10 years all good and you have 5 of them, or you have 20 relationships they're 5 years all good, or maybe you have 25 relationships. So some guys, they play the field until they get old and they have a lot of relationships and they're not all great, but they get out of it and they get into another one.
Right.
That's what girls do. Until they're not going their way, they move out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason they don't get into another relationship right away is because they're not good enough to attract the man that they want.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of girls, when they get married, they lose their body, they lose their beauty, and they can't pull.
They're
So
older
they have
and
to
they
work.
have children, so they have baggage.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So they rather secure the man's income through marriage, through alimony, through kids, and that's the glue that's holding the man together. Because believe me, the way she looks, her attractiveness is not holding him. And I hear women, it goes, "Oh, you know, he doesn't even get a blowjob. It's not his birthday. It's not Christmas. It's not this." And I'm like, "Whoa!"
Like you talk about it jokingly, and they're like, "It's not a special occasion."
Exactly.
You're like, "What do you mean? Like that's your man. I thought you loved him."
No,
like,
there's other things that are holding the relationship together.
Yeah, I thought you appreciated him and we're grateful. What do you mean only special occasions? That poor man.
That's right. So I think years do not determine the quality of the relationship.
I agree.
What I think determines quality is that you have to have a lot of quantity of relationships for men, not for women.
No.
For women, they need to choose the right partner.
But see, we talked about it slightly like, well, we talked about it a lot in a previous video, but just to touch on it, that women get a lot more, let's say, experience with men early on.
Like how many guys
maybe they
hit on
don't
them?
sleep with all of them, but they get a lot of interactions with men starting
shitload.
like really young.
Yeah.
And then eventually, like they gather all that experience. They find out kind of how men are to an extent, what they like, what they don't like, what kind of future they like would like.
That's if she's paying attention.
Right. So more or less, she has more of an idea of what type of man she would go for. So when she sees a young man, when he's green, he hasn't had that much experience because most men don't have a lot of relationships between their like mid-teens to like, let's say early 20s. Like they have a few relationships, maybe a little bit more if they're lucky or good at it.
And not compared to women.
But compared to women, that's why like she settles down between 27 and 30. But at 30 for a man, he's green. He's had just a few relationships compared to her.
So think about it. When a girl, when a girl turned 30, how many guys do you think hit on her?
Oh my gosh.
Compare that experience and see how many girls did you hit on by the time you turned 30. And then how many relationships did you have by the time you were 30? How many relationships did she have? Exactly. And how many girls did you sleep with and how many guys did she sleep with? So the experience is way off. And believe me, she's not going to tell you all those things.
Oh, no, of course not. But she's going to be like, you look like you're a good investment. I'm going to get you before you build anything.
A good provider.
A good provider. And before you do anything, I'm going to get you. So that way, once you do build something, you're my backup plan.
That's right. My backup plan, my retirement plan,
my golden parachute, plan. Whatever.
That's right. So the thing is, guys, you have to admit that some relationships are only for a certain time. And especially when you're young, even if you find a good relationship, you should keep going and replacing and play until you get older, until you recognize
learn, adapt, and grow.
Because if you want to have a good relationship with your 40, what kind of man do you have to become? And if you've been dating and you've been successful and you keep replacing these women for the experience, for the training, for the feedback, for all those things, then it leads up to a better person to know what to look for, because now you have the experience. Women get it early, a lot of it. Men get it later. So this myth of just finding one and it's your soulmate forever, forget it. It's not. It's stupid thinking, guys. It's not. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. You're not gonna luck out.
Most likely, you're not gonna be the exception.
That's right. So just plan for it. Just rather have 15 relationships that are 2-3 years good each. Excellent. Like you just date until it goes bad, get rid of her and get the next one.
Or even
Go
before,
and go
but
bad,
even
yeah.
then, if it doesn't go bad, just take what you learned and experienced from her and end it so
Mm-hmm.
that you can gather more wisdom, knowledge, and experience from another woman. Because
Yeah.
women are similar, but they are not the same. And even if they like you or whatever, they will not treat you the same. So that way you get to figure out what you like, what you don't like, what you can tolerate, what you won't tolerate.
And you'll get good because the more you date, the easier it is going to be to pick up women.
Absolutely. And then rejection too. Like if a woman isn't in like the right time in her life or she doesn't really find you as a good fit, the sting is gone.
Yeah, we made another video is that you don't try to change her. You accept her for who she is.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other video previous to this one. You accept who she is and you just enjoy what she is. Don't try to change her. Because that's what's a lot of mistakes that we do.
Yep.
But don't ever measure a relationship just because of the years. The
No.
quality is what's one. And that's hard to tell by looking at a couple. Usually is I can see how the girl treats the guy.
Yeah.
Is
It's
one of
usually
them.
like a dead giveaway.
A dead giveaway.
Because
Big
women
one. And
have,
how attractive she stays for him too.
because a lot of women really have no problem disrespecting their man in public.
Yes.
Like I'm just saying.
A lot of
You
them.
see
And
it a
I
lot.
see
And
them,
you're
I'm like,
like,
I don't want to be in that
whoa.
relationship.
No.
Think about all the relationships and be like, okay, you have to pick one you want to trade places with.
Which one would it be?
Which one would be? See, it's kind of hard.
Mhm.
Like, who would I? Like the ones they say is like Hugh Hefner, you know, the Playboys,
Dan
they get a lot of
Bilzerian.
ass. Maybe Leonardo DiCaprio. See, what are they doing? They're rotating girls like crazy.
But
That's
even
why
then,
they're so happy.
But no, exactly.
No
But
wife
think
is
about it.
life.
But even think about it. Like, even though Dan has all of those women, he's rotating. What is he doing? He's gathering experiences. He's getting to see the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Believe me,
But
yeah.
even then, he says what really matters with relationships, plural, is to have the meaningful connection.
Yeah.
But how do you think he discovered what that was? By
Go-
going through
yeah.
all that bullshit.
Yeah, go through a bunch of pussy guys and then be like, you know which pussy's good. Basically it.
There you go.
That's what we think. Let us know what
you
you guys think. Put it in the comments so everybody else can see them and they can learn from your experience. Like, comment, subscribe, share, comment, subscribe, all those good things.
Thank you.